On a sweltering July morning in 2026, the quiet streets of Willow Creek, a sleepy suburb in upstate New York, erupted into chaos. It began with the piercing wail of fire truck sirens tearing through the air, but Ethan Caldwell, the district fire marshal, wasn't behind the wheel. Instead, I stood frozen in my own driveway, staring at a monstrous party tent sprawled across my property line, glittering gold balloons bobbing in the breeze, and a gaudy banner proclaiming Marissa's midsummer fiesta. Worse, my driveway was barricaded with neon traffic cones, as if Marissa had claimed it as her personal trophy. I was in full uniform, badge gleaming, with exactly 4 minutes to answer a fire call 3 streets away. But there stood Marissa, in sequined sandals and a fanny pack radiating self-appointed supremacy, arms crossed, smirking. "Relax, Ethan. It's just a party. Call a rideshare like the rest of us." That was the moment I knew this wasn't just a neighborhood nuisance site, was a showdown waiting to ignite. Willow Creek was usually a haven of calm. Saturday mornings meant the hum of lawnmowers or the occasional dog's bark. But today, my front door opened to a scene straight out of a fever dream. A wedding-sized tent blocking half the road and my entire driveway. Rows of folding chairs, streamers fluttering, and a crew setting up speakers like we were hosting a music festival. My fire Marshal SUV was trapped, hemmed in by a DJ booth, a catering van, and 2 cones with handwritten signs. One reading VIP only, the other simply Marissa in bold, as if she'd rechristened the street. I stepped onto my porch, helmet in hand, coffee mug in the other, and dialed my deputy on speaker, warning him I'd be late for an inspection on Elm Street. Then I saw her Marissa, the HOA's reigning tyrant, orchestrating vendors with the flair of a Broadway director, barking orders about cake placement and torch spacing for vibes. She spotted me and waved, like I was just another guest. That was my first warning. "Marissa," I said, pointing at my SUV, "I need to get out. Emergency call. Now." She turned, mid-sentence, and gave me a look like I'd crash her Oscar speech. "Oh, Ethan, don't be so serious. It's just one day. Park at the corner store, it's barely a mile." My jaw tightened. "I'm not parking anywhere. You've blocked an emergency vehicle." She scoffed, rolling her eyes. "You and your fire marshal drama. You do paperwork, not save lives. This is my midsummer fiesta kind of a big deal." The words hit like a spark on dry tinder. "Midsummer fiesta? You blocked my driveway for a glorified barbecue?" She smirked, sipping from a bedazzled tumbler. "It's for aura alignment and sunset serenity, but sure, call it barbecue." I scanned the setup. A fire pit crackling too close to a pile of leaves, helium tanks leaning against a sizzling grill, candles flickering under a vinyl canopy. My training screamed danger. "Marissa, this is a hazard. Open flames under a tent, blocked emergency access, and that van's cutting off the street. Shut it down." She laughed, waving me off. "Ethan, stop acting like you're the mayor. It's a party, not a crisis. Don't kill the mood." Neighbors peeked from their windows, some waving, others cringing. "Mrs. Harper across the street mouthed, 'Do something.'" I nodded, pulling out my phone to snap photos. Tangled extension cords, sparklers stacked near drinks, fireworks perilously close to a wooden fence. Marissa tried to block me. "This is private." I didn't flinch. "You're on public property and 3 lots. Privacy ended at your mailbox." My radio cracklita structure fire on Pine Avenue. I needed to roll, but the catering van had double parked, boxing me in. I jogged to the driver. "Move. Now." He shrugged. "Talk to the boss lady." That was as spark became a blaze. I grabbed my radio. "This is Fire Marshal Ethan Caldwell, reporting obstruction of an emergency vehicle at 712 Willow Creek Lane. Tens, parca vehículos, no abras. Send patrol." Marissa charged across the lawn, shrieking, "You're ruining everything." "He's faking it, call the real cops." But the sirens were already closing in, not for Pine Avenue, but for her circus. As patrol cars screeched to a halt, neighbors spilled outside, phones recording. Marissa's fiesta was about to become her funeral pyre. The lead officer, Deputy Ryan, a friend from years of joint calls, stepped out and grinned. Ethan, thought you were running drills today. I gestured at the tent. Got waylaid by a fire hazard. Marissa's face crumpled. You know him? Ryan nodded. Fire Marshal Caldwell, district chief. If he says this is unsafe, it's gospel. Marissa sputtered. It's just a community event. I cleared it with the HOA. Ryan's smile tightened. Blocking an emergency vehicle and open flames without permits? That's not a party, it's a liability. Her composure cracked, but she hissed, You could have talked to me, Ethan, not called the cavalry. I met her gaze. I did. You told me to Uber and call my badge fake. You chose this. As Ryan and his partner cataloged violations cords and puddles, flames near fabric, the van still blocking my SUV guests whispered, some filming, others slipping away. I logged every hazard in my app, building a case for city enforcement. Marissa huddled with her HOA allies, shooting me glares, but the mood had shifted. Then it happened. A candle sparked a paper streamer, flames licking toward the canopy. A guest screamed, others threw drinks to douse it. I grabbed my extinguisher, sprinted through the crowd, and smothered the fire in seconds. The stench of burnt plastic lingered. I faced the crowd. This is why codes exist. You're lucky this wasn't worse. Marissa shrieked. Who did that? But her bravado was gone. Fear had taken over. Ryan issued her a citation and ordered the van moved. The DJ packed up, vendors fled, and Marissa stood alone, her empire crumbling. Later, I got a call from city enforcement. My photos had triggered a full HOA audit. Marissa's name was already flagged for past violations. That evening, Mrs. Harper stopped me. Thank you. We were all too scared to fight her. I nodded. You shouldn't have to. A flyer on my mailbox read, HOA hero Marissa, but someone had scrawled, doused by the Marshal. I smirked. Marissa's reign was over, but the fire she'd started was still burning. The next day, an email landed in the fire safety inbox, accusing me of harassment and fabricating violations. The sender? Marissa Vance Official at gmail.com. She'd reported me to my own office. I forwarded it to the city commissioner with my report, photos, and witness notes. Her lies only dug her deeper. I scheduled a fire drill on Willow Creek, hoses rolling out in front of Marissa's house. She stormed out, robe flapping, screaming about harassment. When we tested the hydrant, a pressure surge sprayed her head to toe. Neighbors roared with laughter as she fled inside, drenched. The HOA's emergency meeting to censure me backfired. Marissa's violations, sun-permitted flames, blocked access, even illegal fireworks came to light. A board member asked if she'd gotten fire department approval. She hadn't. They voted to suspend her. The state launched an HOA audit, and Marissa's name surfaced repeatedly. Her civil suit against me, claiming defamation and distress, was tossed out of the city back my actions. Then, a former HOA treasurer revealed Marissa's forged permits and misspent funds. At a city hearing, her excuses collapsed under scrutiny. She was banned from HOA duties, and her house became an evacuation drill checkpoint. She stood in her driveway, faking smiles as my team trampled her lawn, a news crew filming every twitch. Marissa's business tanked, her social media vanished, and a viral video, Queen of Willow Creek. Marissa's last stand racked up millions of views. She tried one last move, scoping out a new HOA across town under a fake name, but I tipped them off. Willow Creek, meanwhile, thrived. A new HOA board, led by a nurse, prioritized safety and transparency. I joined their safety committee, and we rolled out training and response plans. The state sent me a plaque for extinguishing more than flames, with a handwritten note, and for soaking Marissa. I hung it proudly. One quiet evening, I sat on my porch, the street alive with kids' laughter and soft music. Willow Creek was free. Marissa had tried to rule, but she'd only reminded us what we'd never tolerate again. The fire was out, but the spark of community burned brighter than ever. What do you think? Was Ethan too harsh, or did Marissa deserve every consequence? Should neighbors have stepped in sooner, or was it Ethan's job to take her down? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories that spark debate.